Hello and welcome to the Program Management and the Art of Communication Certification Program. We're in our fourth course talking about how to design project information hubs for program and project performance. And we're finishing up week 1 where we're talking about project communication networks. And in our fifth and final module, we're going to put all this together and talk about the project management information system. When building a project management information system, I like to have 9 characteristics. The first one is no information gaps. I want to make sure all the information that I need for the program or project is in that information system, not in someone's spreadsheet, not in someone's Access database, or in Post-it notes they've posted all around their desk. I want to make sure that I can find all the information pertaining to that program or project in one place, the information system. Because this helps promote coordination by centralizing the data. We all have a single place to go, and I say we, our project team members, our program team members, our stakeholders, we can all go to this one central place, and we know the data that we have in there is a true and accurate representation. Sometimes I call it the single source of truth. Now, all the data is accessible by role and need, and I make sure that our project management information system is set up so that you have a right to know and a need to know based on your role. So not everyone needs to know all the information. For example, I may have some project team members that I don't need them to know about the budget or task on the entire project. They're part of it. So I keep that, accessible only by a role and need. Some of my senior stakeholders, I may have the same idea here. So I just want to make sure that we have all the information we need, that everyone knows where to go get that kind of information, and that the information they do access is appropriate for the role and the need to know. I like to make sure my project management information systems link schedule, resources, and budget. And this may seem like, well, this is obvious, right? But I've worked in some projects and programs before where the budget information is in the finance office's systems, and they want to keep it that way. So in some cases, I'll just duplicate what I have, and you'll have it in 2 different places, and you got to make sure they sync correctly. But I want to make sure that when I'm accessing this as a program or project manager, that I can see the schedule, resources, and budget and how they interplay with each other. Think of the iron triangle: my scope, my schedule, my budget, and my resources. Another thing that I want my project management information system to do for me is give me an early warning system for emerging risk. I want to be able to see when something's starting to evolve as a risk, when there might be a problem, like some schedule slippage, or I might be spending too much here, and I want to make sure that my system can alert me to it. So for example, if I have my project team inputting their status, daily or weekly, I want this system to be able to look at, well, what is their status now? What was their planned status, the baseline, and then give me a big red flashing alert if it looks like there's going to be some schedule slippage, or if I'm spending too much time in one area or too much money in one area. Also, I want the project management information system to help me forecast. So in other words, we can take a look at the progress of the project, we can take a look at how much of the budget is being consumed, how many resources we're using, and I can run some what-if scenarios to say, if we continue at this rate, this will happen. Or if we double the budget rate, we can see how quickly we'll spend on the budget. In other words, I want to be able to kind of do some what-if scenarios just to help me better manage the program or project. Transparency and accountability. I want to make sure that I want to get all the information that we need for the program and project, and I want to make sure it's available to audit and make sure I'm in compliance, because sometimes that'll happen. So I want to make sure that it's transparent to the financial officer, my senior sponsor, and legal, anyone else that may be interested in my data. And I want to be able to trace where this data came from. So if I'm looking at status reports, I'm looking at budget stuff, I want to be able to trace it back to, well, who put that in there? Why did they put that in there? And how accurate is it? And then I want to make sure that I have a historical record for programs and projects. And this is important because it helps with the forecasting, because it gives me an idea of past trends. Okay. It also helps me keep track of those risks that may be emerging, and I can kind of trace it back to where did they start occurring. And also, when I finish the program or project, I like to have that historical record there. So if I do a similar project, I've got a database of past projects that I can look at and can help me better estimate for this new project. And then finally here, I want to make sure that the data is owned by the program or project. Again, it's kind of like that Excel spreadsheet idea, that Access spreadsheet idea of the Post-it notes. Sometimes people have data, they have ideas, they have information, and they keep it to themselves. And they're not entering it into the project management information system, even though it's relevant and we need it. So I want to make sure my team members know to put the information in there that is relevant, and I'm keeping up with them on doing that. And also, I don't want to run into a circumstance, and I've had this happen a couple of times in programs and projects where someone had key information and they walked out the door to another project or to another job. And now I've lost key data that I needed, and it's outside of my project management information system, and it's very hard to get that data back. So these are the 9 characteristics of building a good project management information system.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this free lesson from the University of Maryland's Project Management Center for Excellence. If you want to check out more lessons just like this one, click the link in the description below where you'll be able to go to our website on executive project management. There, you can find edX courses, professional short courses where you can learn from an instructor like me, as well as request custom team training for you and your organization. All right, let's get back to the lesson and I'll see you at the end.
Now, with some program or project management communication networks, I'm not getting enough information. They're not communicating enough stuff to me so I can make a good decision. You may have also been on the other side where you're getting infobesity. You're getting too much information to make a good decision. Macmillan Dictionary defines infobesity as an excess of information, especially when this makes it more difficult or impossible to make rational decisions. Think back to our STAR model of feedback. Is this information specific? Is it timely? Is it accurate? Is it relevant? Is it reliable? And in many cases, when you have infobesity, you're getting information that doesn't fit the STAR model. So what does this do to you? It causes fatigue. It can cause what we call attention disorder trait. These are real things. This in the knowledge management world, this infobesity is a real concept. Lack of productivity because people just basically give up. There's just too much information to handle. Lack of confidence because there's so much data. They don't know what to do with it. There's interesting psychological studies about that. The idea that you have too much to choose from. And you may have seen studies where they take people and they give them like 30 cereals to choose from, and people just can't make a decision. Although if you give them like 3 or 4 cereals to choose from, they can make, oh, okay, I'll go with this cereal, because they feel more confident about their decision. Memory loss happens to all of us. I mean, you get all these emails and texts coming to you about your project or your program, and you forgot what someone emailed you an hour ago because you've gotten about 5 more emails talking about the project or program. Stress-related diseases, I'm certain we've all been there. And it can lead to poor decision making. And financial loss. So when you take a look at the Big Dig case study, you can see where infobesity can occur with some of those communication networks, and all of this occurred because they were getting too much information, but the information wasn't good. It didn't fit our STAR criteria, and thus you couldn't make a good decision about how the panels on the ceiling were constructed, how the concrete was poured, and who was doing what at what time.
Hey there, did you enjoy that lesson as much as I did? If you did, go ahead and give us a like. If you want to see another one, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, put them below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Moreover, is there somebody in your life who really needs this lesson right now? If so, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next lesson where you can learn even more from the University of Maryland Project Management Center for Excellence. Thanks so much.